Peace. This is Wise Words Media back at y'all for another round. And fight fans, PBC on Amazon Prime had their debut pay-per-view, and it was a good one. It was a good one as the co-feature was Pitbull Cruz versus Romero, and the main event was Sabastian Fundora versus TimTszyu. In the co-feature, we saw what was pretty much the end of Romero as a big name in the sport of boxing. Romero will still be around. Don't get me wrong, he's still going to be around, but he's going to be now demoted to that level of like the B fighters. You know, like he's no longer going to be an A-lister unless he could take down an A-lister and bounce back up in that regard. However, moving forward, he's gonna be demoted down to like the B list of people in his weight class and in the sport of boxing in general, because what we saw was yet again same thing that happened to him against Tank, same thing that happened to him against the older gentleman, I forget his name, and now against Pitbull Cruz. You know, Rolly is he it's power. He relies on his power. He relies on his pop. But there's really not much there fundamentally as far as boxing's concerned. You can look at him almost like a lower weight class version of Deontay Wilder, where Deontay Wilder, it's that equalizer. You know, like he got that equalizer, bomb squad. He dropped it. If you get caught in the vicinity of those bombs dropping, that's where you're in trouble. Same thing goes with Rolando Romero. Rolly is more of a power-reliant boxer. It's strictly about his power, and that's how he gets the job done. And when he's in there, when you're in there up against a boxer-puncher like Pitbull Cruz, I mean, let's take a second also to just like commend how special Pitbull Cruz is, man. Pitbull Cruz should be the face of Mexican boxing. I'm going to say that again. Isaac Pitbull Cruz should be the face of Mexican boxing. Not Canelo Alvarez, not anybody else. It should be Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who is the face of Mexican boxing. He is truly carrying the tradition, the proud warrior, guerrero tradition of Mexican boxing. It's in Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz reminds me a lot of Juan Manuel Marquez, which is Mexican legend, far better than Canelo Alvarez. This is a Mexican legend. Juan Manuel Marquez was very tactical. He was a chess player in there, but he also changed levels, you know? He would change levels on you. He thought out the fight. It wasn't just about going toe-to-toe, which he could do with you, and he has done it plenty of times, but he was a pure boxer. It wasn't this, let's just go Mexican-style toe-to-toe and bang out. It was more of thinking the fight through. Let me see what openings my opponent gives me. Let me change levels on my opponent. Let me change the view. Let me change where these punches are coming from instead of just toe-to-toe throwing punches. And Marquez was a master chess player in that ring. And Pitbull Cruz, you can see he's very methodical like Marquez was. He would be in there changing levels. Pitbull changes levels a lot. He goes head, body, body, head. And he throws off opponents that way because they don't know where the punches are coming from. And he's so small in stature that he'll hit you with that overhand and you don't even see it coming. Like, this is why when Tank fought Pitbull and they asked Tank if he was going to give him a rematch, Tank said, hell no. You know, but after a performance like this, now this elevated the stature of Pitbull Cruz that we want to see more Pitbull versus the bigger names, even if it means getting back in there with a rematch with Tank. I think this fight right here, we're seeing that Pitbull's getting better and better with each fight. So congratulations to Pitbull Cruz on becoming champion. Beautiful thing. And congratulations to Mexico because, as always, You got another one. And now, speaking of Mexico having another one, to the main event. Sabastian Fundora versus TimTszyu. What's my mother in name? TimTszyu? Well, here's a name, TimTszyu, you're gonna have to remember for a long time, and that's Sabastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno. What have I been saying on this page, on this very page, for the past year and a half? Whenever I'm talking about boxing, 2 years, about to be 2 years next month, I've been saying boxers need to fight their height. And I always say that regarding Sabastian Fundora, fight your height. And finally, Fundora fought his height. He used his reach advantage. He jabbed a lot. And this way, he was able to create problems for TimTszyu to get in, to cut distance, to try to mix it up the way that TimTszyu likes to do. And Sabastian Fundora, to his credit, he likes to mix it up too. But that ain't the fight that he needed to fight. He stuck to the card, what he needed to do, which was create distance, use that jab, use your height, 1-2 it, and keep that stick in his face. And this way he can't do nothing to you. And that's what happened. TimTszyu, many expected TimTszyu to get Fundora out of there, knock him out. But it ain't that easy, man. You got to learn how to cut distance. I'm sorry, it escapes my name, the gentleman that fought Fundora the last fight. But Fundora wasn't fighting his height, so he was giving him a lot of the opportunities to just tee off and get a successful knockout. This time we saw Fundora wasn't doing much of that. Fundora maintained distance throughout the fight. He was able to fight his height, use that jab, which is something that I've been repeating several times on this page, and I'm glad he finally did it. And now the new world champion at 154 pounds is nothing. The WBO champion is now Sabastian Fundora. Congratulations to Fundora. We saw Errol Spence, and it was great to see Errol Spence in good spirits. He looked good. He looked happy. He looked like that defeat is behind him. It kind of looked like that. So we might get a reinvigorated new version of Errol Spence, and let's see, hopefully, because Errol's great for boxing. And Errol already sent out the warning shots to Fundora. He said he's ready for Fundora. There's even footage of Errol Spence walking back to the locker room, and somebody asked him, Errol, what you gonna do if you fight Fundora? And Errol said. So Errol already said, man, it's gonna be man down. He said if he fights Fundora, he's putting him to sleep. So let's see. That would be a great task for Errol Spence Jr. to get back in the ring and to test himself, to take on the likes of a Fundora. If he can do that and become world champion in his first fight at 154, that would speak volumes, and that will elevate Errol Spence back in the world of boxing and, put him at the forefront as a prevalent figure. But yeah, successful PBC pay-per-view on its opening night, debut on Amazon. Drop some bars. Let me know what y'all think about the pay-per-view. How was it? I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace.